This is the Lamborghini Urus dash camera installation, and we're going to show you how we remove the housing behind the rear view mirror, how we remove the A-pillar, how we run the wires from the front of the vehicle to the back, how we run the wires into the hatch for the rear dash camera installation, and how we hardwire the dash camera. Let's go. Okay, so first thing, we're going to go and put all our protective covers on the seats and over top of the center console. That way nothing gets damaged while we're getting in and out of the vehicle, and we're going to be putting tools typically in some of these areas. So we just want to try and protect the vehicle while we are working on it. So let's start with removing the housing behind the rear view mirror. And as you can see, I'm using my 4140. You can also use a panel popper tool, but we like to use this just because it's a little bit more rigid than other panel popper tools that are made out of plastic. And you're going to see that we have to actually hit a certain point on the sides just to kind of loosen it out on the sides. And then in the center, there are two tabs that we actually need to hit right above in order to actually completely release it from behind the rear view mirror. Next, we're going to move over to the side panel on the dash, and we're going to use our panel popper tool to release the clips on the side of the dash. And we're going to show you the back side of the panel and where all the clips are that you need to release. And as you can see, there are 4 clips that you need to release in order to actually remove that. And then we need to take the little trim panel off as well. That way it's releasing the A-pillar. It makes it easier for us to take the A-pillar off of the vehicle. Next, we are going to move on to the A-pillar. I'm going to take my 4140 and put it in there just to loosen it up a little bit so I can get my hand in there. And then we're going to pull it outwards. And now it doesn't pull completely off. This is very tricky. Some higher end Audis, Porsches, and this Lamborghini has that. So I'm actually taking my hook. You have to be extremely careful with the hook because I'm going to show you here that you have to actually massage this clip up and down in order to release the clip. And once you actually see exactly what we've done, in behind the panel is there's this little clip that needs to slide downwards and then line up perfectly so that that whole panel completely unlocks. So I use the hook. You have to be very careful with this long hook. I would recommend using something that's not metal, especially if you're doing it yourself. I use it because sometimes I need to take the little clip and move it upwards. So you can see that little clip in there. We actually have to push that down so that it unlocks from that big metal knob that's actually right there on the A-pillar behind the airbag. So that is something that we need to do. And you just push that clip downwards in such a way, that way the whole panel becomes completely unlatched. And now we can remove it directly from the vehicle. And you can see there's the 2 clips right there that are locking in at the bottom, and at the top there, that's where that little latch locks in. So now that we have the panels off, we're going to take the A229 Pro and show you a couple different mounting locations. One is up high, one is down low behind the rear view mirror, and then off to the driver's side. Now, obviously, most people usually get it mounted up high on the passenger side, and that's where we've chosen to go. So now we're going to take our wiring in, and we're going to tuck all the cables into the headliner. This headliner on these vehicles, very similar to a lot of the Audi and Volkswagen vehicles and Porsche, are very, very tight. It is not easy to run. It's taken a lot of years to get to the point of where we can get comfortable even doing vehicles like this. So as you can see, we're continuously hiding it and tucking it in. This is actually a very long process. And luckily we have the new HK4 cable that also has no ferrite in it. So we can actually makes it a little bit easier for us to hide it. And as you can see, all the wire is now hidden away and the headliner is still fully intact. And the next thing we're going to be doing is tying the wiring behind the airbag and running it from the front of the vehicle to the rear. So as you can see right here, we're taking the rear camera cable and running it directly behind the airbag, nice and safe. And then we're going to take the power cable, the HK4 hardwire kit, and we're going to tie strap it to all the factory wiring that's right behind the airbag. That way it's completely safe and it's nice and solid, and we don't have to worry about anything being obstructing of the airbag in any way, shape, or form. So as you can see, we have the tie straps on. We're going to cut them, and this is basically the airbag, the big white puffy thing. That's the airbag, and as you can see, no wires are directly in front of it, and no wires are causing any issues. Now I'm going to show you a little trick that we do sometimes. Sometimes some vehicles, the B pillar, which is directly in the center of the vehicle there, is hard to get off. And especially if you're doing it yourself, you might find it really hard. So we actually take our specialty tool and run it up high along the side of the airbag. That way we're not obstructing it. And then we can see we pull the wire through. Now, do not use a coat hanger or anything metal like that. I do recommend getting a trained professional to do installation like this. Some vehicles we do take the B pillar off, but I wanted to kind of give you a different perspective, a different idea of how sometimes we do the installations. And we're just checking to make sure that we're far enough away, and it's about a couple inches in to where the airbag is, so you can see where it is sitting on that lip. It is completely safe. And then we're able to actually tuck it in all the way along the side, and we're going to continue tucking it in, going from the front of the vehicle to the rear. So we completely finished tucking it in. It's very hard to get the camera in some of these places to show you how we fully tuck it in with our panel popper tool, but we've gotten it all the way to the rear now, and we're going to release the weather stripping. That way we can actually get it into the back. Now this is just a rubber boot that goes in for the actual hatch area, so it's very easy to actually release with your panel popper tool. Some vehicles have clips on that rubber boot. This boot, you can easily do it. Just make sure that when you put it back that it is completely sealed. And we're going to pull the wire through the rubber boot. That way we can actually take the wire and put it directly into the hatch. So as we completely get it through, we can actually take it and seal up the boot again and start with disassembling the actual hatch area. Now I will tell you this, and I even told the customer, when I was taking these off, these clips make some pretty big noises, like big bangs. It was actually very loud. I would actually show you how loud it was, but unfortunately I had music playing in the background, and if I play that portion of the clip, this whole video will just get taken down. So, but it was very hard to unclip. These clips are very tight, and I think it's just because it's a high performance vehicle that it wants to make sure that there isn't rattles and stuff from clips actually going loose. So as you can see with the panel, there's quite a few clips that need to be undone when you're actually taking off this panel off the back hatch, but quite easy. You get it off, and now we can proceed with running the rest of the wire directly into the hatch. So as we pull the wire through, we can actually take the boot and seal that back up. That way the top and bottom are completely sealed again and back to factory. And we're going to take our wire and find where we want to mount the rear camera, and then go backwards with the cabling, tie strapping to all factory wiring. That way we're not obstructing with getting the panel back in or being in the way of any of the actual clips. As you can see, there's some of the holes there of where the clips would actually mount back in when you put the panel back up. We're going to tie strap all the extra wiring, put it into the hatch, and then try and tie strap it nice and tight. That way it doesn't move around. So now we're going to get the panel and put it right back into place and clip it in and wait for those nice loud clips as they make quite the noise when they clip back into place. And like I said, I think it's just because it's a high performance vehicle. They just don't want to have any panels rattling or anything like that. So when it clips in, like it clips in, which is quite different than a lot of the other vehicles that we do work on. So as you can see, we have it completely clipped back in place. We're going to take the rear camera, plug it in, and then we can proceed with actually cleaning with like antiseptic wipes and doing the final mounting of the rear camera on the rear hatch. And so as you can see, it's nice and clean. All the cabling is completely hidden, and we have our rear camera mounted on the rear hatch. And the Lamborghini rear dash camera portion is done. So there's 4 different ways you can do the installation. 1 is to use the OBD2 cable, you can see clear as day there. 2, you can take those 2 Torx, one we were just removing right there, and remove the second one so that you can drop the dash to get access to the back side of the OBD2 cable. The third way is to where you actually sit your left foot is where your fuse box is. And you can actually open that up and access the back side of it and hardwire directly to there. Now, I will tell you, I don't know if you're going to get any fuse taps in, but we don't actually do it that way. The other way is sometimes these dashes are so tight and they're very hard to get at. So what I like to do is pop the underside light out and then take the OBD2 cable and pull it through. And as you can see, there's lots of actual slack there so that we can actually hardwire directly to it. So pin 1 is actually ignition on every Porsche, Audi, Volkswagen vehicle. And pin 4 is always ground, and pin 16 is constant power. Now, we always do recommend testing it. This Lamborghini is based a lot of stuff off the Audi R8, so it had pin 1 as ignition as well. So we can hook up directly to this safely with no issues. And as you can see, we completely soldered it all up, and now we're tester taping it up to clean it up. And then what I'm going to do is fish it back to the OBD2 cable, the portion of it, which it's kind of fun to fish it back into that hole, but you could get it in there if you're doing like a DIY install. Now, it's probably easier for you to just use an OBD2 cable and plug it in and then not have to worry about any wiring. But what I was trying to do is just kind of show you some of the things that we do when sometimes a vehicle is fighting us. So there you have it. This Lamborghini Urus 2023 is finished for a front and rear Viofo dash camera. So as I bring you up and see how it is mounted on the front windshield, you can see it's nice and clean and completely hidden off to the passenger side. So it's not really distracting the driver while they are driving. Also, that LCD screen times out as quick as 3 seconds or as long as 3 minutes, depending on the setting you make for it. And as we go around to the back, you've already seen this is the rear Viofo A229 Pro 2K resolution dash camera mounted on the rear hatch. And I'm going to bring you around to the front, and so you can take a look and see how it looks from the driver's seat. So as we get in, you can see that most of it is hidden away. And when that LCD times out, you're not even going to pay attention or see it while you're driving. I hope you enjoyed this video on the Lamborghini Urus professional dash camera installation. I hope it gave you some ideas of how you could do your own installation, or maybe you're looking to hire someone like us who's in Greater Vancouver or Greater Toronto to work on your vehicle. And if you're wondering about other dash camera installations, you might want to take a look at the playlist we have here, which lists a lot of the other professional dash camera installations that we've done. Check us out, safedrivesolutions.com. Thanks again.